The Seattle Seahawks are officially under the microscope of the entire world, and what was just revealed behind the scenes might be the most shocking betrayal of team culture we've seen in a decade. For years, this organization has operated like a fortress bunker, a place where secrets were kept tighter than a championship lead in the fourth quarter. But the walls are coming down, the cameras are moving in, and the man pulling the strings, John Schneider, just made a move that has every single fan in the Pacific Northwest questioning if he's lost his mind, or if he's playing a game of chess that we haven't even begun to understand. Is this the beginning of a new dynasty, or did the NFL just force the Seahawks into a high-definition disaster? Before we dive into the chaos, smash that subscribe button if you want the fastest NFL updates on the planet. We are tracking every roster move, every rumor, and every locker room secret around the clock so you don't have to. For nearly 20 years, the Seattle Seahawks have been the Wizard of Oz of the NFL. You knew there was a powerhouse working behind the curtain, but you never got to see the man pulling the levers. John Schneider and the front office have historically treated their facility like a government black site. No leaks, no drama, and definitely no outside cameras. They didn't just avoid the spotlight, they actively fought it. They wanted opponents to be intimidated by the mystery, but that era is officially dead. The news hit like a lightning bolt. Seattle is going to be the featured team on this season's Hard Knocks. This isn't just a TV show. For a team that values privacy above all else, this is a cultural earthquake. It's the first time since the Baltimore Ravens did it back in their prime that a former Super Bowl-winning organization has allowed this kind of access. Why now? Why would a team that has spent years dodging the distraction of reality TV suddenly open its doors? There is a theory floating around league circles that the NFL essentially gave them an ultimatum. With ratings for the program dipping, the league needed a big market team with a high-energy roster to save the franchise. Seattle didn't volunteer. They were drafted. But even if they were forced into it, the implications are massive. We are going to see how Mike McDonald runs a room. We are going to see if the chemistry is real or if it's just PR. But here's the real kicker. While the cameras are rolling, John Schneider is making financial decisions that could either stabilize this team or lead to a total cap space meltdown. Do you think having cameras in the room during contract negotiations is a stroke of genius or a recipe for a locker room riot? Drop your thoughts below. But wait until you hear what's happening with the $20 million man in the locker room. While the media is obsessed with the TV cameras, the real story is happening in the accounting office. Let's talk about Euchenna Nuosu. If you've been following the salary cap situation, you know that Nuosu was the #1 name on the potential casualty list. We're talking about a veteran with a massive $20 million cap hit. In today's NFL, that kind of money is usually reserved for top 5 edge rushers, the guys who put up 15 sacks a year in their sleep. Nuosu is great, don't get me wrong. When he's healthy, he is a fundamental disruptor. He changes the way offensive coordinators have to call plays. But $20 million, that's a masterclass in overpaying if you aren't getting elite production. Most fans expected Schneider to walk into that room and demand a pay cut. We expected a take-it-or-leave-it restructure that would free up cash for free agency. Instead, Schneider did the unthinkable. He doubled down. He didn't just keep him. He publicly declared that Nuosu has earned every single cent. This is a massive shift in how the Seahawks do business. They aren't just paying for stats anymore. They are paying for the soul of the team. Nuosu is the guy the rookies look to when the game is on the line. He's the veteran who stays late when everyone else is heading for the parking lot. In a league that is increasingly becoming a cold, hard business, Seattle is trying to prove that loyalty still matters. But is loyalty worth $20 million when you have a hole at other positions? The Seahawks currently have over $30 million in available cap space. They could have cut him and had $50 million to play with. They could have gone out and traded for a superstar or signed a massive free agent. By keeping Nuosu at his current price, they are telling the world they believe this roster is already the one. It's a high-stakes bet that could easily blow up in their faces if he can't stay on the field. Who's to blame if this defense fails to generate a pass rush this year? Is it the players or is it Schneider for not spending that money on fresh blood? Drop a name in the comments. But while the defense is banking on the old guard, The offense is about to unleash a weapon that nobody is prepared for. If you think the defense is the only place where the Seahawks are taking risks, you haven't looked at the wide receiver room lately. There is a speed revolution happening in Seattle, and it is designed to give opposing defensive coordinators nightmares. Let's look at the situation with Torrey Horton. The news out of the league meetings is that Horton might be nursing a shin injury that keeps him out of the spring sessions. For a rookie, that's usually a death sentence for their first-year production. But Schneider isn't worried, because he's building a track team on the turf. The strategy here is clear. Seattle is moving away from the old-school model of having one big jump ball guy and one small slot guy. They want 3 or 4 players on the field who can all run a sub-4 for 40-yard dash. They want to stretch the defense so thin that the middle of the field looks like a wide-open highway. They traded for Rashid Shaheed and then immediately locked him down. Think about that. They didn't just want him. They were desperate for his vertical threat. When you pair Shaheed with Jackson Smith-Njigba and a healthy Torrey Horton, you aren't just playing football. You're playing a game of catch us if you can. The real question is, can Sam Darnold actually deliver the ball to these guys? We saw Shaheed struggle to find his rhythm late last year because there was zero chemistry with the quarterback. He was running deep and the ball was landing 10 yards short. But with a full off-season together and Brian Fleury cooking up a brand-new playbook, the Seahawks are planning to flip the script on the entire NFC West. If a defense puts 2 safeties deep to stop the long ball, Smith-Njigba will carve them up underneath. If they bring the safeties up to stop the short game, Shaheed or Horton will be celebrating in the end zone before the corner can even turn around. This is an explosive, high-octane offensive philosophy that could lead to the Seahawks leading the league in big plays, or lead to a massive amount of 3-and-outs if the timing isn't perfect. But there's a massive storm cloud hanging over this entire plan, and it has nothing to do with what happens on the field. It's a political move that could change the future of the franchise forever. John Schneider is a football guy, but right now he's acting like a financial advisor, and he sounds terrified. The state of Washington just changed the game, and it's not in the Seahawks' favor. The newly signed Millionaire Tax is officially law. For the first time, athletes playing in Seattle are going to see a massive chunk of their income disappear to the state government. For years, Seattle had a masterclass recruiting tool: no state income tax. When a free agent was deciding between the 49ers, the Rams, and the Seahawks, the choice was easy. If you signed in California, you lost 13% of your check immediately. If you signed in Seattle, you kept it all. It was the secret weapon that allowed the Seahawks to stay competitive even when they weren't the biggest market. Now, that weapon is gone. Schneider has been vocal that this is going to sting. And he's right. Imagine you are a superstar free agent. You have 2 identical offers on the table, one from the Las Vegas Raiders and one from the Seattle Seahawks. In Vegas, you pay 0 state tax. In Seattle, you're now paying a premium just for the privilege of living in the Pacific Northwest. Will this stop the Seahawks from winning? Probably not today. They still have $30 million in the bank. But in 5 years, when they are trying to convince a franchise quarterback to stay instead of heading to a tax-free state like Florida or Texas, this could be the betrayal that slowly erodes the talent on this roster. The NFL is a game of inches, and that includes the inches on a paycheck. Every dollar lost to taxes is a dollar that could have been used to lure a Pro Bowl tackle or a lockdown corner. We are entering an era where the front office has to work twice as hard to get the same results. But even with the taxman knocking, the Seahawks have a much more immediate problem: who is coming to Lumen Field to kick off the season. The schedule release is the most anticipated day of the off-season, but we already have a major clue about who will be standing across from the Seahawks on Wednesday, September 9th. For weeks, everyone thought the Kansas City Chiefs were the lock. A Super Bowl champion coming to Seattle. It would have been the highest-rated opener in history. But the Chiefs owner, Clark Hunt, just dropped a bombshell. He basically admitted that the league is worried about Patrick Mahomes' availability after his injury concerns. He's ruled out the Chiefs as the opener. That leaves us with a list of 6 potential victims. And when you look at the names, one team stands out as the absolute insane choice for a primetime slot. It won't be the Rams. It won't be the 49ers. The NFL likes to save those divisional bloodbaths for later in the season. No, the league wants a storyline. Is it the Dallas Cowboys? They always bring the ratings, but do the Seahawks want that much America's team energy in their building on day one? Is it the New England Patriots? A Super Bowl 49 rematch sounds great on paper, but the Patriots are in a total rebuild. It would be a blowout, and the NFL hates blowouts in Week 1. That leaves the Chicago Bears. Think about the narrative. You have the number 1 defense in Seattle going up against the next big thing in Caleb Williams. It's the veteran grit of the Pacific Northwest versus the flashy new era of the Midway. The Bears were the darlings of the league last year, the cardiac Bears who lived on the edge of every game. The NFL is looking for a fireworks show to start the year. They want to see if Mike Macdonald's defensive schemes can handle a mobile, creative rookie. They want to see if the Seahawks' new speed demon offense can outrun a Chicago team that finally has its swagger back. September 9th is going to be a war. The banners will be flying, the Lombardi Trophy will be in the building, and the eyes of the world will be on Lumen Field. Whether it's the taxman, the Hard Knocks cameras, or a rookie quarterback, the Seahawks are walking into a storm. But as any true fan knows, this team plays its best football when their backs are against the wall and the noise is at its loudest. The only question left is, are you ready for the loudest season in Seahawks history? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave. You do not want to miss what we have coming next. We're breaking down the full training camp schedule and the secret roster battles that no one else is talking about. Stay tuned, because the off-season is just getting started.